When the Mid-Autumn Festival rolls around here in Australia, there is this deep longing for the real tastes of home, isn't there? Well, today, we're going to talk about how one business is closing that gap, one incredible handmade mooncake at a time. And that quote, it just says it all, because it's never, ever just about the food. It's about the memories, it's about family, and that feeling of connection that a simple little pastry can spark, even when you're thousands of miles away. Right, and that's the big question. It's the real challenge. You might find mooncakes in a store, sure, but finding the ones that taste exactly like you remember, the ones you shared with your family back home, that can feel like an impossible task. So let's talk about what celebrating the festival actually feels like here in Australia. It's kind of a balancing act, right? You're building new traditions, but you're also holding on so tight to the old ones. You know, there's such a powerful shared feeling among these communities. You look up and the moon is the exact same one everyone's seeing back home. And the festival, it brings this incredible mix of joy, but also that little sweet, nostalgic ache for family and all those familiar celebrations. So with that craving for a real taste of home, where do you turn? Well, this is where some really dedicated people come in, and their entire focus is on one single thing: a promise of true authenticity. And their mission is just so clear. This isn't just about baking something tasty. It's about preservation. It's about getting that each and every mooncake is a little piece of your cultural heritage. So how do they actually pull it off? Well, it all comes down to a few really key commitments. First, everything is handmade to order, so you know it's going to be fresh. They are totally free of preservatives. And this next one, this is huge. The recipe is intentionally less sweet, which is exactly how so many people from Southeast Asia remember them. That little detail, that's what makes it taste exactly like home. And you don't have to take my word for it. The proof is right there. Over 500 five-star reviews from all over Australia. And let's be real, that's not just a number on a screen. That's 500 moments of pure joy and connection, delivered right to people's doorsteps. Okay, now for the really fun part. Let's take a little journey through the flavors, because this is where the story gets so interesting. You've got everything from the deeply traditional to the wonderfully adventurous. They've basically got two paths you can go down. You have the classic flavors that will instantly take you back to those cherished family gatherings, or you can try the fusion and modern twists for a totally new, delightful surprise. So let's start with the absolute classics. We are talking that smooth, rich lotus paste, that earthy sweetness of red bean, or that super satisfying crunch of mixed nuts. For so many of us, taking a bite of one of these, especially with that prized salted egg yolk inside, that is the taste of the Mid-Autumn Festival. Period. Now, if you're feeling a bit more adventurous, we get into the fusion stuff. You've got the Shanghai mooncake with its famous buttery crust, a total classic in its own right. And then there's the Taiwanese 3Q. This one is an incredible sweet and savory ride, combining red bean paste with the really unique texture of pork floss. I know, it might sound a little unusual, but trust me, it just works. All right. Feeling brave? For the truly adventurous, there is this, the Nyonya Sambal Mooncake. This is where tradition gets a fiery, spicy kick. Seriously, imagine the savory, complex notes of shrimp paste in a mooncake. They call it a spicy dance, and that's the perfect description. It's a bold flavor that's just an amazing tribute to a rich culinary heritage. And finally, we have a completely modern take. Snowy skin mooncakes aren't even baked. They're served chilled. The outside is soft and chewy, kind of like mochi, and it creates this completely different, really refreshing experience. Now, because they're so delicate, these are a special treat that can only be delivered in Melbourne. Okay, so you've picked your flavor, but how in the world does it get to you? Especially if you don't live in a big city. This is the next crucial piece of the puzzle: bridging the huge distances of Australia. The whole delivery system is built around freshness. Since they're handmade, you do have to plan ahead and pre-order about 2 to 3 weeks in advance. They use express post for metro areas and special packaging that's designed to make sure they arrive in perfect condition. It doesn't matter if you're in Sydney or all the way over in Perth. And what's really fascinating is seeing what people are ordering where. you get this cool little snapshot of Australia's tastes. It looks like the East Coast really loves that classic lotus. The West Coast, they're all about the buttery Shanghai style. And up in Northern Australia, it's that savory sweet Taiwanese 3Q that's the big hit. It's just a neat glimpse into how different food memories are being kept alive across the country. So, we've seen the passion, we've explored the flavors, and we've figured out the logistics. Let's bring it all home and see how you can make these amazing tastes a part of your own celebration this year. You know, as we wrap up, it's just so important to remember what this is really all about. The mooncake, it's not just a dessert. It is a powerful, powerful symbol of unity, of togetherness. It's shaped like the full moon it celebrates for a reason. And getting them to your table is honestly as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, you just browse the full range on their website. Second, you place your pre-order to make sure you get your handmade batch. And third, the best part, you share them with your family and friends and keep this beautiful tradition going. And here's one last little tip you've got to keep in mind. Because everything is handmade with so much care, production is limited. These are not being churned out by a machine. So pre-ordering isn't just a good idea, it's pretty much essential if you want to be sure you don't miss out. And that leaves us with one final question for you. Which taste of home are you going to share this year? Will it be the classic comfort of a lotus paste mooncake, the buttery goodness of a Shanghai style, or maybe the bold spice of a Nyonya sambal? Because whatever you choose, you're not just ordering a pastry, you're ordering a piece of home. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.